There's an epidemic going on in outlaw motorcycle club and motorcycle club culture. Out bad status. People are getting thrown out of clubs left and right and being left with this tag that is a time-honored tradition saying that you're one of the worst people that ever lived and people need to stay away from you and show you no respect and no club should let you in. And a lot of the interviews you see from a lot of the OGs out there from the big clubs, those are all people that are out bad. This status is being handed out left and right. We're going to talk about 8 reasons why motorcycle clubs give out bad status. Let's get into it. Big shout to the Ghosts and the Ghost Sets. Welcome to Demons Row TV, the holy grail of MC culture, where we cover everything motorcycle and motorcycle club involved. I'm Sos the Ghost. I'm your host for the evening, and I'm going to tell you this is something that is near and dear to my heart. Let me know in the comments if you know a brother that is out bad and didn't deserve it, or out bad and was the worst piece of shit and deserved every minute of the stomping that he got. Number 1, cooperating with law enforcement. Now, a lot of people think that this is just you go out with your brothers, something happens, you get into a fight, or however you get your money, a couple of you get wrapped up in it and you get a case and you tell on him on the stand, or you write a statement against your brother and he gets locked up. As an outlaw, you are never supposed to go to the police. If your house gets robbed and you call up the police, they consider that calling the police. You're supposed to tell your brothers and handle it yourself. This is the way they look at it. So it's not always just ratting straightforward like in a court case. Number 2, sleeping with someone's old lady. Now, this should go without saying. It's like a mob thing. You got a lot of people out here that think with the small head instead of the big head. Some brothers have some beautiful women, and if that's your brother, you should look at her like a sister. I have never coveted a brother's wife because I always looked at it like, why would you want something that's your brother's with all the women in the world? Why can't you just get another girl? And I just don't understand it. Getting stretched out, put on a stretcher, left out in the street. I don't get it. Why would you do that just to get with your brother's wife? It just doesn't make sense to me. But I've also seen scenarios where a president, a sergeant of arms will get with a prospect's wife on the down low, and then when it gets discovered, the brothers conspire against the prospect because he's not a fully patched member yet. Even though you're a greaseball, they kick the prospect out. I've seen situations where the prospect got his ass whooped and kicked out the club when it was a member that moved on his girl. So if you're in these type of situations, I'm not telling you what to do, but just command respect. That's why I say if you're a prospect, don't bring your girl around. Handle your business. You're not there to socialize with your girl. See her when you go home. Handle your business with the club so you eliminate any situation like that. And I'm not saying that all clubs are like this. I'm just saying I've seen situations of this. And to save yourself from that type of drama, if you just leave her home, you will never have to deal with that situation. And it's unfortunate that it's like that. But these are the streets. Number 3, stealing. Now, I, for the life of me, will never understand why you would steal from 20, 30 bikers in a club, big boys. Why would you steal from them? I just don't get it. And like, how much money are you really getting stealing from a club, skimming some books? You know, I've seen it before. And also, the treasurer will work with the president and they'll pocket a lot of the money. And this goes on all the time. And it's like, bro, y'all can't get money on your own? You gotta skim off the club? Like, that's weak, bro. Like, how much money could you really make doing that? That's chump change anyway. And this is what I hate about clubs. If you're like that, instead of stealing, sit at the table, talk to your brothers. These are your brothers, right? Sit at the table and be like, yo, I'm messed up right now. Why don't we all throw in some bread together, come up with some type of business and make money together? Instead, you steal, you get dragged out. I've seen some horrible situations where people got did filthy that were like the coolest dude in the world the day before, but now all of a sudden he's out bad and, you know, bloodied up because he decided to steal money. It just doesn't make sense. Number 4, law enforcement. And this goes for police, but it also goes for POs, COs. And obviously, if you're in the 99, and you accept that, we're not talking about that. But if you're in an outlaw motorcycle club and it's strict, the rule, no law enforcement, it even goes down to military police. I had this come up before. I had a brother he was in the Navy. He had a friend that was a military police officer. He wasn't like a cop outside in the street. That's what he did in the military. And he was telling him like, listen, I got a good brother. He wants to get in the club. Does military police count as regular police? And they didn't let him in the club because they consider that real police. So I don't know about the military. I never served, so I didn't know how that went. Let me know in the comments if you're familiar with a situation like that. Also, these clubs are full of COs. A lot of the bigger clubs are full of COs. Let me know what you think about the COs. I think that's a different situation from a cop. I mean, they can't arrest nobody, but I don't know, I guess they still oppress people. They're not the ones that lock them up, but they're in there. I mean, when I was in Rikers Island, I seen them do some devious stuff though. So I get that part, Number 5. Copping out to gang charges. So if you get a case and you cop out, and part of your cop out is saying I was a part of a gang, and you're labeling your motorcycle club as a gang, I've seen people get out bad status for this. Actually, there's a famous case about it. Mel Chancey, the former Hells Angel, actually talked about that, and he had to do time. He didn't rat on anybody, but in his charges to cop out, he had to agree that he was in a gang and he committed this act, or he would have got obscene amount of years. So the club said that he was out bad because he took that charge. And the reason why clubs do that is because there's different statutes of law that they can hit you with. If you're a gang, it's way easier to get the whole club RICO'd if they already consider you a gang, and they can make a lot of the stuff that you do that's legal illegal. So that's why clubs are like, we ain't a gang, we're a motorcycle club. That's a lot of the inside about that life. Number 6, running from a fight. You should always know what you signed up for. I don't care if you join a club, if you join an outlaw club and they run a certain territory, you see that everywhere they go, they kind of control the show. So you got in and it was kind of like peacetime. At any moment in a New York minute, something could pop off. And if it does and you run, you might as well stay, fight, and get your ass kicked, then run. Because if you run, when you get back, the way they handle you is going to be ferocious and you're going to be out bad. So if I was you, don't sign up for a life that you're not built for. And I've seen a lot of brothers do this, and it perplexes me because it's like, you know what this is. Why did you get into this if you're not really like that, And it's like, I came from the street world. I came from the gang world before I got into clubs. So I already had that seasoning of how it is when you go places that anything could pop off at any moment. But some people, you'd be surprised. They have no idea that it could really go down. They hear the talk, but it doesn't register until it actually happens. I'll be honest with you, if you've never been in static, you don't know how you'll react. Everybody says, yo, I'll react like this, I'll react like that. Until you're actually in it, you don't know if you're gonna freeze up or how you're gonna react. Number 7, suspect paperwork. Now, most clubs do a thorough background check from the beginning when you walk in. But sometimes, for some reason, people slip through the cracks with some faulty charges. I think maybe the sergeant at arms did a bad job doing the homework, but I have seen it before. People that you would never think, you've known them for a while, and another member comes in and he wants paperwork on people, and he finds out, or somebody that knows you from another place gets down with the club, and it comes out, yo, he got paperwork on him. They provide it, and these people have some nasty Epstein Island type stuff on their paperwork. So, once that happens, you're out. Obviously, you're going to be out bad status. Number 8, the number 1 reason why people get put out bad. Let me know in the comments if you know what that one is. The number 1 reason why people get out batted from a club, if you look at most of the interviews of these legends, of these people that you hear them talking, really think about it. Why are they out bad? It's always politics if you really think about it. None of them slept with nobody's old lady. None of them stole. Sometimes they like to say, someone stole when they didn't. I've seen that happen before too, but they're not even smart enough to do that. And some are devious enough that if you use the money for events and hotels and stuff like that, if you're doing an annual somewhere else, if some funds are not perfectly accounted for, they will make it seem like you stole that money and put it in your own account to do whatever, pay your bills. But pay attention. The majority of the people that you watch in these big interviews, they're all out bad. Most of them, not everybody. Some people just leave, but from now on, when you're watching the interview, pay attention when they get asked why they're not in the club no more, why they left the club. You're gonna hear an out bad story, and I'm telling you, it never amounts to them actually doing something that was foul. Think about that when you're joining a motorcycle club. Think about the politics that go on and how easy it is for someone that calls you a brother to be pointing a finger to try to get you out of the club just because you don't go with their program. And this is one of the main reasons why bikers don't want to join clubs, because they have friends that have gone through this. It takes away from the riding and it makes it an uncomfortable situation instead of the reason why we all got into this whole thing, the love of the motorcycles. So let me know in the comments what you think about this list, if there's any I missed, and tell me your stories. I always like to hear the experiences that y'all go through, and that's why I love about Demons Row. We're a whole community. I got another video where I talk about why bikers hate motorcycle clubs. I'll link that up. Thank you for tuning in to Demons Row TV, the holy grail of MC culture. Like, subscribe, and comment. No, yeah, we ghosting, baby.
Oh.